Welcome back to Tabletop Assault. I'm Ross.
I'm David.
And today we're introducing our first narrative campaign, the Battle for Vra'mor. So this is going to be a quite exciting thing for us. First and foremost, we are debuting Elder sort of with this.
Yeah.
David hasn't played Elder in 2 years, but has been waiting so long to get his hands back on them. I'll be using Tau, so we're sort of using two new forces for ourselves, and certainly never had a combination of this before on the channel.
So we're going at the deep end.
Is one way to put it. So the purpose of this is that we are now expanding sort of a lot of the amount of forces we have, a lot more, you know, in terms of inventory we've got. So we now want to build a bit of a narrative between some of our battle reports to make them a bit more interesting. So this is our sort of first trial one, where it's going to be, you know, a bit rough in some ends, but you know, we're looking forward to getting a lot of feedback from you guys to let us know what worked, what didn't, and hopefully improve to make more storytelling and more exciting, you know, both, you know, the advantages and consequences of battles in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, I think David wants to explain a wee bit about the actual Battle for Vra'mor.
Yeah, so let's give a bit of feel and a bit of flavour to it. So, Battle for Vra'mor, as Ross has kindly said, the combatants will be the Tau Empire and the Elder Craft Worlds. So on Vra'mor, I'll give you a bit of backstory before we go into the armies in detail. So Vra'mor is a newly acquired and conquered world for the Tau Empire, and it's part of the fifth sphere of expansion. Prior to its assimilation into the world, into the Tau Empire, this world was long forgotten colony of the Imperium.
Okay.
So it's been detached from its motherland, Terra, for quite some time. The world, through its long disconnect from the remainder of the Imperium, has led the world to fall into the hands of corrupt leaders. Don't know if that's any hints there. And with the grand illusions of power. It is said that when the Tau invaded, the Ethereals order all previous traces of the world's past to be erased, without any explanation as to why this action had to be taken. The campaign to conquer the world was short and brief, with little casualties taken for the Tau Empire, as you'd expect just from a basic human world, to be honest. And with drastic casualties on the side of the humans, as the world was severely damaged and the entire population was wiped out. The cities burned to the ground and all traces of their past existence erased, with the exception of one area known simply as its designated name, Zone Kara Kara, meaning Zone of Exile. The Ethereals decreed that this zone was off limits and that the Tau would colonize this world, with the zone becoming a classified secret known only to the Ethereals. They always like to keep their cards close to their chest, don't they, Ross?
Well, yeah, that's kind of their job. We're talking about a world of corruption, but hey, you know, those Ethereals, they've got it in a different way.
Yeah. Okay, so before we go into a bit more about the Tau and the Elder Craftworld's backstories, who are involved in this mission, that gives you a flavour of what's happening. So on Vra'mor at the moment, it's been a newly acquired world for Tau. Place is sort of a mess because of the ensuing battles that have taken place, and it's obviously now going to be colonisation. So for the Tau, we need to introduce you now to the characters for Tau.
So yeah, we have ourselves two main characters, Commander Velk and Ethereal on Velkan.
So, before we go get about the story, these two characters are permanent throughout the entire campaign.
Yep.
They cannot be changed in any sort of way, but we can mix and match when we decide to use them.
Yeah.
So let's go into the story for Tau. I'll give you a brief feel for it. So Ethereal Velkan has been elected to oversee the colonisation of this new world, along with ensuring that this world can be militarised to become a new outpost to launch further attacks further afield. With the military aims set, this world's Commander Velk has been given full military command of the Tau forces stationed on this world, and with this he's been tasked to ensure that during this vulnerable time that the world is well defended and that Ethereal Velkan creates the necessary infrastructure needed to fulfill the ambitions set for this world.
So yeah, you get the idea that obviously they want to put this place to work, you know, take the advantage of it, however it is still vulnerable at this point, as any planet that has just recently conquered doesn't have the infrastructure to quite defend itself yet, And this is where I guess we find the Elder step in.
So yes, so let's introduce you to the two characters that I will be using, and those two characters is Farseer Talazar and Autarch Belson. Talazar is a representative of the Simhan craft world, and Belson is a representative of Ayandan craft world. Probably mentioned at this stage.
Yeah, so the Tau are actually Sekia in principle.
Yeah, so they're not doing what I'm doing, mixing and matching.
No, I'm sticking to one.
So the Elder backstory. So Farseer Talazar has been plagued with visions of terror, death, war, and an almighty entity of immense power and darkness to be unleashed upon the eastern fringes of the Milky Way galaxy. Farseer Talazar summons his fellow Farseers, Autarchs, and fellow leaders to discuss these disturbing visions. Farseer Talazar describes a youthful force from the eastern fringes rising and eliminating the old, but upon doing so, through their naivety, is unleashing a force of tainted power, chaos, into this reality, a force of which will bring countless death to all races in the eastern fringes. The council comes to a decision, not wanting to fail to act on these visions, decides to muster their forces for under the command of Farseer Talazar and accompanied by Autarch Belson. Belson has personally volunteered his services as he believes a useful force in these visions to be that of the Tau Empire, a race he has fought many times in the past, and many times he has lost kin during these previous wars. So there's a little bit of personal revenge wanted there.
Sure.
So the Elder Craft Worlds, they're obviously foreseeing that on this world that the Tau have now acquired, there's something dark, something deep, something sinister, which they have to intervene and stop. But in doing so, the Tau are standing in their way.
I do feel bad for Farseers. They never seem to have any luck when it comes to their sort of
no, it's always chaos rather than unicorns, isn't it?
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
So yeah, so there you've got the two forces. You've got their intentions for this campaign, their motivation, as you will.
Sure.
And you now know the commanders. So Ross again will be having Korovelk and
Unbelkan.
And I'll be using Talazar and Belson. Just want to quickly touch now on a bit more of the aesthetics of the campaign, some of the rules, because we are sort of modifying the campaign slightly.
Yeah, so we're going to be following sort of the general structure that I think...
So it's the tiered campaign in the book,
yep.
Where each battle you then move on to a next one depending who won, who lost.
Sure, and there can be consequences and advantages to that. These are all, sort of missions we've never played before.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, so both forces we've never really used before, missions we've never really played before. We've been doing this a wee while, so this is going to be quite new for us.
Yeah, we're getting taken out of our comfort zone a little.
Quite a wee bit. So I'm looking forward to that, especially. So how we've structured it, I think we've got, is it 5 missions we're playing in total?
5 missions in total for you guys. The finale being the 5th mission. We won't go into any details of that yet.
No. Purely
because we'll save that for a later video. But each mission, there's 3 missions actually in the tiered campaign, but we're going to add a 4th one. And that 4th one we will kind of mix and match depending how we feel the campaign is gone.
Sure.
And again, same for the finale. But the first mission will be the standard one patrol, and then we'll start to go through our tier depending on who wins or who loses. Throughout this entire campaign, Craftworld Elder will be designated the attacking force, and throughout the campaign, Tau Empire will be designating the defending force. Okay. First mission will be 1,000 points.
Yep.
Starting off light there. Mission 2 will be 1,500. Mission 3 will be 2,000, and then mission 4 and 5 will be 3,000 points.
Yeah.
So there's a slight escalation in the points there.
Yeah. One thing to mention that when I think with the lot of the narrative they mention use power levels, we're sticking to points.
We're sticking to points, but we're going to we'll use power levels for some of the rules.
Sure.
Which some of the actual missions require you to work out power levels, not really for building your army, but just for in-game impact.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that, but we'll keep you guys up to date with that as we actually progress through the campaign.
Yeah.
Last thing just worth mentioning is the armies itself. So Ross has chosen to only go Sekia.
Yep.
I'm taking the luxury of using 2 craft worlds throughout the campaign. However, for most of the missions I'll probably just use one of it, then switch the next mission the other. Might chop and change as we get to the bigger point games, but you can only, your warlord has to be one of those 2 named characters.
Yes, absolutely. So we might have other HQs in there. You know, if you want to think of it, easiest way to explain it's probably like Space Marine, you go a lieutenant or something.
Yeah.
There's dozens of them kicking about, but there may only be sort of one commander, one ethereal. Yeah. In your case, it'd be one Farseer and one Autarch.
Can't take duplicates of the Farseers, or you can't take duplicates of your named character.
Exactly.
But any other type of HQ, we're okay to put in there.
Yeah.
Other than that, guys, that's kind of the rules.
Guess so.
Oh, there's one last rule.
Alright.
If your commander is killed throughout any of the battles, especially for the early battles, it's not a permanent death.
No.
But what will happen is your commander has to go into the following game with 1 less wound.
Yeah, so that's a minor sort of setback for them. If they do get through the next game without being, killed, then they do come back with full wounds. We've just got to be careful on that one, because we'll need to see what becomes consequences when characters.
Yeah, I'm usually quite reckless, so
you can be reckless. You've been known to assassinate as well.
Yeah,
your deep strikes are sometimes absolutely fantastic for killing characters.
Yeah,
but we'll think about sort of how these consequences may progress if characters continue to fall. Guys, with that, I hope you're all excited now for the campaign. Battle for Vra'mor is going to be hitting the channel this week, so look out for the video. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this, giving you a feel of what's to come. That's you got the full details now. Hope it's getting as excited as we are, and hope to see you again soon on the first mission for Battle for Vra'mor.